for the first time in history, Khoi and San communities from across Southern Africa and beyond are uniting under one roof. The Unity Congress is not just a symbolic effort, but a bold step towards self-governance, recognition and indigenous powers. Leaders from South Africa, Namibia and Botswana and the diaspora are gathering in Johannesburg this week to adopt the Trans-National Khoi-San Charter. Joining us now is the National Convenor, Varrie Jr., to unpack what this moment means for Khoi and San communities. Larry, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. The Khoi and San communities are no longer a monolithic people. They're no longer people of a singular or a narrow identity. Across the region, they've adapted, morphed, and have integrated into other tribes and identities that are historically equally as important. For instance, if we look at South Africa, we can talk about the Griqua people. If we look at Botswana, we can talk about the Masarwa people. If we look at Namibia, we can also talk perhaps particularly about the Nama. When we talk about the Khoi and San convening here, are we talking about the appendices to that, or are we talking monolithically only about the Khoi and San communities as they historically have been understood to be?
Yeah, thank you for having me. What the National Khoi-San Unity Congress is about is bringing together all of our people. So you've mentioned the Basarwa people, you've mentioned the Nama people, and they are more than that. We are talking about, remember, colonization has severed our people's ties to their history, to their heritage as the Khoi and San nation. So the Griqua community, the Nama, everybody that is a part of the Khoi and San is going to come together and unite and form one polity that will be the voice that will represent the people that of the First Nation. And the people will be deciding the way forward. So why this thing is important is government has been the one that has been bringing our people together and dictating the process and the outcomes, which defeats the purpose of self-determination, because government is determining who we are. So now we are calling all of our people together and saying, right, let us address our issue. Right? We have a voice. Let us speak with our voice as one. So the different tribes you've mentioned are coming together to form one polity, to say this is the voice, this is the umbrella under the Khoi-San. The Khoi-San term is the umbrella that all of these communities or tribes or clans are going to now come under and speak from.
Yeah. Why is this important, particularly if we think about in South Africa the context around cultural preservation, language, autonomy, and agency? The context might be different in Botswana and Namibia. Why is it important to have a singular transnational polity?
We are one nation. We are the First Nation, right? And we have decided, so there's a delegation that is coming from Botswana. There's a delegation that is coming from Namibia. We've even engaged the vice president of Namibia, who is a Nama person, who's a Khoi-San person, which is the first Khoi-San head of state or deputy head of state that we've in any nation state. So we're bringing together all of our people. It doesn't matter where you are, and we're forming one voice. We didn't create these borders, right? And colonization has impacted our languages, and you'll find that through law, even through this democratic dispensation, our languages are not recognized. It's as if we do not exist, right? So we are asserting our place in the country, in the whole diaspora, and we are saying we didn't create these borders. We are the people of Namibia have an equal interest in this country as that what I have. You understand? So it doesn't matter where they live in Botswana, they will still have an interest here in this country.
Importantly then, how does that reshape the conversation around the status of First Nationhood that Khoi and San tribes in South Africa are particularly seeking for at least the legal recognition thereof, right? Because the consequential to that is that now we have to talk about land restitution, we have to talk about language, autonomy, and all of that in South Africa. Does it then mean those who identify as Khoi and San or related tribes in other countries in Southern Africa can then come and join and be a part of those communities and access that legal status and recognition equally the same?
100%. This is about all of our people having equal benefit in this country. This is the Nama in Namibia, this is their country equally as it is ours, right? The Basarwa in Botswana, this is equally their country as it is mine. And these, and I've said this earlier, these borders were not created by us. The land restitution process, this is their land. Whoever is enjoying the fruits of this country owes to pay the people, the Nama people or the Khoi and San people in Namibia, reparations. There must be the injustices that was committed against the Khoi and San was committed against all of us, not just the people you find in South Africa. So when we talk about rights, we're talking about all of our rights as one nation. So this is why we are forming one body, because the moment we are divided, which is what government has been trying to achieve, the moment we are divided, this is where they succeed in delaying the recognition, delaying our rights, the implementation of our rights. So it is very important to understand that the people in Namibia and Botswana, Mozambique, Angola, Tanzania, Malawi, our people, the Khoi and San people, this is their country.
Yeah.
And they have the right to benefit from everything. All the benefits that any person in this country has, they have the right to benefit from it equally because it's their country.
Yeah, this is the first gathering of its kind taking place in the nature that it's taking place. Yeah. What will emanate, what processes will emanate from here? You talked about a charter of sorts that will chart the way forward for this gathering to make sure that there's a common understanding of what is expected here. But what follows from here?
So there is a charter that will be adopted. The people are going to give inputs in plenary sessions. So let me rather explain it like this. We have speakers that are going to speak from Namibia. We have delegation from Namibia. I've advised, we've even engaged the VP in Namibia, Her Excellency Lucia Witbooi, who can't make it, but we are constantly engaging her still. So we have people from Namibia, we have people from Botswana, we have people from South Africa, and everybody is then going to, give input, whether in plenary or in the speeches that will be, the keynote speeches. And we'll be speaking about our issues, but not just the issues. This conference, this Congress is about solutions. This is about Southern Africa, and more specifically, the First Nation of Southern Africa being able to compete on a global stage in terms of economically, and making sure that we do not, we want to also kill this stigma that Khoi and San people are primitive people. The Khoi and San you see in the Kalahari, the picture that people have is just as much part of the Khoi and San as what I am here right now. And it's about being able to know our place in the country, being able to discuss what our current disposition is, where we are supposed to be, and how, coming up with a plan on how we are going to get where we want to be as a nation, as a people. So this is like it's a liberation charter, it's a freedom charter of the First Nation people that will outline the plan for us as a nation, how we are going to develop us, how we are going to deal with land, how we're going to deal with substance abuse, how we're going to deal with crime, how we're going to deal with language issues, all of these issues. We cannot be dictated to by the state or anybody that is not part of our nation, our community. And this is about us deciding for ourselves, where we want to be. And this is why it is so important that the people come together. One of the most important things about this Congress is that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa in its preamble speaks about recognizing the injustices of the past, right? It speaks about healing the divisions of the past. And this is what the Congress is all about, right? And also, when we do that, it's also now understanding, when we recognize and we deal with the foundational disposition, the foundational crime in this country, then we can only move forward as a nation, as the whole of South Africa. So this is us as a nation playing our part, expressing and exercising our right to self-determination in the broader context of South Africa and Namibia and Botswana and the diaspora, having a say in the entire SADC agreement, because the whole of SADC is our country. There cannot be any negotiations, any talks about anything economic, land, language, whatever the case may be, without the First Nation in all of these countries. So we are here to assert it, but we are developing the plan. And the last thing I want to say is South Africa is built on a participatory democracy, right? And it's important to have the participation of the people. And this is why, you know, we do not want to function solely as the leaders will decide what happens to the people. No, the people must decide what happens to the people. And this is why ordinary people that are part of the First Nation are coming together and deciding the future for themselves.
Larry, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Larry Varrie Jr.
Thank you, sir.
Is the convener of the Trans-Khoi-San gathering taking place